Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, terrible news, a couple of stories now coming out of Hawaii. One, a passenger goes overboard and is missing, as well as the wildfires ravaging not only people's houses and things, but even cruise ship destinations. A whole entire cruise port burned as well. Not to mention, we have the inaugural sailing now of the NCL Viva, the second class of the Prima class ship. It looks beautiful and everything. It looks great, but it does have one thing missing. So I caught this article. It was released on Friday morning from a local police report in Hawaii, where on Maui they were notified by a cruise ship. It does not specify what cruise ship, that a person around 4:18 in the morning went overboard on the ship, and they have launched an investigation into it. They have identified the man. I'm not going to say the person's name. Let's just say he's a 59-year-old man from California, and apparently they've looked at the closed-circuit TV footage, and it does appear that the man has gone overboard around that time in the morning. They have notified the Coast Guard. The cruise ship did a search as well. So far, no sign of anybody coming up. So they were relatively close to shore, about 8 miles or so off the coast, and in the warmer waters of Hawaii. There is this very odd, slight chance that somebody could have picked the person up. They could have made it to shore. So they have not only launched an investigation on the ship, they've launched an investigation on land and asked people around Hawaii that if they see this man, no photo available yet to us, but if they see this man, to please notify the police and let people know. He could be discovered injured, he could be discovered from a fishing vessel with no ID, and people don't know who he is, and that's why they're putting out this thing. So we're really hoping for a good news story here and a happy ending like the last couple we've had that actually people got rescued. The trouble is this one's gone on for more than a day now and nothing has popped up as far as any kind of rescue. So fingers are still crossed though. Fingers are still crossed. Also in Maui, you've probably heard that wildfires have started up on Tuesday last week. And as of Thursday, they were still burning. Only 20% were contained at that point. And now they've struck, I think over 50 people have passed away to the fires. Devastated a lot of homes, some towns, and also a cruise port has been destroyed as well. So much so that the cruise lines have all decided that they can go into areas around that cruise port, other cruise ports and that. They decided they're not going to because they don't want to put any stress or hardships on the supply chains and things like that going on in the area that all these fires have been happening, and they need the rescue services and the water and food and any storage places to keep people and things like that. They just said, we're just not going to go, and we are going to change our itineraries and everything. And not only that, they've also donated right away money to the cruise port, to the areas that have been devastated by these fires. And again, whenever there is some sort of disaster in an area where cruise ships tend to go, like in the Caribbean or anything like that, when they have the hurricane damage and that, who are the first people there? Right? Besides the search and rescue people and the hospital folks, who are the first people there to donate ships and bring supplies and everything? It's the cruise ships. So we give cruise ships a hard time a lot of the time for different things, right? But when, things like there's disasters and that, when they step up and they do stuff, we should also praise them. So I know a few cruise lines now, NCL for one, I know Royal Caribbean for one, so and probably majority of cruise ships that go to that area. the cruise lines will also make donations as well. So good on them for that. I hope everyone in Hawaii stays safe. I hope we don't have any more trouble for people out there. And it's very sad, like 50 people passed away from the wildfires. They got caught so fast, just so fast. And the heat in Hawaii and the winds from the ocean just spread it amazingly quick. So our thoughts and prayers go out to people in Hawaii right now until this stuff settles down and they can get back to their normal lives. Well, we do have one piece of good news. We have the NCL Viva has finally set sail. It is sailing from Venice to Portugal, I believe, and it's the first time with passengers. And the ship, I saw some ship pictures coming out from Cruise Critic, and the ship looks absolutely beautiful. And there's never been a thing saying that the ship doesn't look nice, right? These ships, the Prima, no one ever says, I don't like the look of the ship. Everyone loves the look of the ship. They love the design. They think it's a very beautiful ship, and I have to completely agree with that. The only thing I've ever heard is some of the venues are kind of small, where, you know, they only hold 70 people, yet it's one of the most popular venues on the ship. So if you hold 3,100 people on a 7-day cruise, well, only less than 700 people can get in to see that show. So it's a little disappointing in that way, but they're on their inaugural sailing. And as I always say, inaugural sailings go great, and it's fun to say, hey, I was the first person on this ship, right? I was the first person on the ship. The trouble is, the ships aren't always completely ready. And I experienced that on the Wonder of the Seas, along with a ton of other people when we got on board. But we did have an issue right now with the Viva. It's got two main focuses of entertainment: a press your luck game show based on the television show that was out there in the past. It's a live show in the theater that the audience gets to interact with. It's kind of like when you go on Princess and they have in the theater, they have the Deal or No Deal show in the theater on the Princess cruise lines. Along those lines, audience participation, you can win prizes and things like that. That seems to be ready. It's going to be running. But their main headline show that I was extremely excited to see, because I love brand new shows, brand new Broadway shows, and this one is an award-winning Beetlejuice. Well, unfortunately, the guests on board have been told, yeah, sorry, the Beetlejuice performance is not ready yet. The one main Broadway show on the ship is not ready yet. That's not good. That's very disappointing. And had I not had to go through surgery this month, I would have been on that ship for its inaugural sailing. I had entire plans to go on it, and lo and behold, life got in the way and I ended up having to go in for surgery, so I knew I couldn't be on the inaugural sailing. And in a way right now, I'm very, very glad, because that would have been one of the main focuses for me on the ship, is seeing a brand new show, especially since I was just on an NCL ship a few months ago and I loved Burn the Floor. I loved that performance, and I would be so looking forward to Beetlejuice, and bam, it's not up and running. That's the trouble with booking inaugural sailings. You just have to take your risks. And so I hope the people on board, aren't too disappointed. I hope whatever act they bring in to help replace that is good. But I know a lot of people would be really disappointed that the main Broadway show on an inaugural sailing of a brand new ship isn't ready yet. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.